everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. The lion. New man on the so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Like my man David put up on Facebook, it's Hump Day! Wednesday in the building. Hope you're doing well. Almost through the week, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, but I'm not alone. I never am. I got my guys with me at all times. And right now, you see who it is. Probably the happiest man in Arizona. Mr. How about them Cowboys? David Wright is in the building. And we gotta shout out my guy. We gotta shout out my guy that's sitting in front of the steel curtain itself that I know is happy that his quarterback came back. I know he's happy. Sydney Swinton is in the building. What's up, guys? How we doing?
Good, man. It's always good when you come to the fantasy football Wednesdays after a win on Sunday. So,
well, I can't say that. So I'm just gonna.
It's hard walking. It's hard walking in here after those L's.
Oh God. It is. It's rough. And I took some L's all around, ladies and gentlemen. It was an interesting week in fantasy football. It's an interesting week in football alone. I don't know, NFL, college. I don't know if you're a college fan. The great mighty Alabama fell to a Texas A&M team that had a backup quarterback in the game, Zach Calzada. So everything's going crazy. It's getting a little cooler outside. Sweater weather. Oh, yeah, it's getting to be some football time. I love it. But listen, before we get into it, I have to take a minute and shout out somebody that watches the show all the time. He is a diehard supporter of the show. He loves his Cleveland Browns. Going through right now, man. My guy, Tanner Hughes, contracted pneumonia in his left lung and is in the hospital just dealing with it. So please just send prayers to him. Amazing guy, man. Truck driver, father of two, beautiful wife that's a nurse, man, and living in West Virginia. So just, pray for him, pray for his family. Always watches the show, always comments on the post and all that stuff. Dave, I know you talk to him from time to time. So just pray for him, man. I had to shout him out for real. So
we love you, Tanner.
Yes, sir. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. It was an interesting week, ladies and gentlemen. An interesting week in fantasy football. We're going to start off with the Let's Talk Football Fans League. And Dave, I think aren't you seem pretty happy. You're pretty high up there on the list.
I'm I escaped again. I'll say that. But it wasn't looking good for neither Delilah nor me early in the day. We both were able to come out with the wins. We're both sitting at 5-0. Delilah is actually at a 99% to make the playoffs. Yeah. I'm at a 96. Yeah. Nobody else in the league is being given more than 77% by ESPN. And interesting fact there, that is actually John Linney.
Oh, yes.
But coming down the rankings, we got Ash and Brandon still tied there for third place, both sitting at 4-1. I know Sid's really upset about that. Nick is on a 3-game winning streak. Nick started 0-2. And he is he's kept it rolling. He's had a couple soft matchups, but hey, winning the games you're supposed to win is how you get through this thing. So then we got John, Daryl, and Brandon B all sitting at 2 and 3. And then a couple of familiar names down here.
Oh my goodness.
I think they were in the same spot, the same bracket last week. Sean, Sid, and Ferg all sitting at 1 and 4. And you know, we say
hey Dave, can we mention how I'm the top of the 1 and 4s? All right, I actually have a 33% chance.
We're getting there. Bobby, got to shout out my man Bobby.
Oh, Bobby.
Again, Bobby put up his personal high score of the year so far. He just happened to run into Sean's brother Daryl, who, for the third straight week, we have a new high score in the league. New York G-Man coming in at 191 points. So he crushed the previous record, and Bobby's Spirit all in one match.
Right. He crushed it, and his defense got 0.
I will. I got to give Delilah credit. She is number 1 in points for. John Linney is sitting at number 2. And then pretty much everybody is sitting right there between 600 and 700, except for 2 names. And so Brandon Davis and Brandon B with the 2 low scores as far as points for. And then you jump to that next column, and Brandon B, Sid, and Bobby are all just getting crushed in points against. You know, it's hard to win when you get that many points scored against you. You know, we've been saying it every week. I will say my points against are actually in the bottom 3. There are only 3 of us who have less than 600 points scored against us, and I am one of them. Brandon and Nick. Nick is also on that list. So yeah, we've caught a couple breaks, but we've also you know, I've managed to cash in on all of them, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, 160 points scored less on your team against you than me. I've had a high scorer extra week added on to my entire schedule. It makes it rough.
I know. All right. And you know, we got to give a little credit to who put down some points on you recently. We will get there.
God.
But we just talked about it, Daryl and Bobby. And then we had Nick. Nick was going to go up against Ferguson, and Nick put down 157 to Ferguson's 98. Nick is rolling. He's actually got me a little nervous. You know, it was a slow start for him, but he has bounced back. Like we said in week 1, I said Nick's a smart guy. He knows the league really well, and I expected good things from him. I was, just wasn't really hoping for really good things for him.
Slightly good, just not really good.
Yeah, just slightly good would have been great. And then we had the chosen one, Battle of the Brandons over there, and I called it. Brandon B. He was one of the undefeated teams after week 3. He's now taken his 2nd loss in a row. His points for are one of the lowest in the league. Actually, these 2 guys are the lowest points for after this week. And then I'm gonna throw it over to Sid. So Sid, who'd you play this week?
I don't know. We can move on. I unfortunately had the pleasure, or not so much pleasure, of playing my wife.
Oh, lordy lord.
Who was out of town, actually, for this matchup, so I didn't have to listen to her, which would have probably been better if she was here, because I was kicking her behind after the morning games.
Yep.
And then Justin Herbert took the field and went ahead and dropped 50.
Oh.
Zeke dropped 30. Robert Woods dropped 30.
Oh.
And then it was pretty much all downhill from there. I needed just a decent game from Stephon Diggs. Just nice little 17 points. Nothing too crazy. Didn't have a catch in the second half of that game and took the L. 9 points. Third highest score on the week. Still taking L's, running into the second highest score. So
Sid put up 164 points and lost. Heartbreaking.
Oh. Eckler still gave you 30. Gibson helped you. Antonio Brown helped you.
Wow.
But nothing. Oh, don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is the one that me and Ash actually made the trade. And if you look, I gave her Robert Woods, who scored 32.
Oh, yep.
And in return, got Stephon Diggs, who scored 9.
Wow.
That trade doesn't go through, and I win the matchup.
See that? See that? Should have vetoed the trade, man.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I love it. I love it.
All right, we had another match I know that we wanted to look at this week.
Oh, God.
Let's see. Who did Delilah play to retain her undefeated status?
Do we need to do this? Do we need to? Is this really necessary, Dave?
We
right.
don't need to. We want to.
Delilah was consistent. She's consistent. She is consistent. My guys gave me, they did a little bit. Kyler Murray underachieved. Obviously, it was a divisional game against San Francisco. That defense played well. Naheem Hines, I don't even know. McLaurin, my guys. Thielen, was questionable. He slipped off. Waller didn't do anything against Chicago. Mike Williams gave him 41.5. And I don't know if you know, I have sold out and taken Dallas's defense and have locked them in. In fantasy, it doesn't matter. I have no affiliations to teams in fantasy. All right. If they give me the points, you're my guy. We're good.
Take winners.
Oh yeah, always. So, but I'll tell you what it is, man. It's gonna be rough. I'm telling you. I looked at it beforehand. It's gonna be rough with some of the guys that I'm gonna have to drop and pick up. You see, Juju's out. Debo was on a bye. But at the end of the day, Delilah's she's just dominant. She's just a monster. She's going through us all, man. Najee Harris gave her 27.2. Oh my goodness.
And my favorite part of this is Delilah had the final pick in this year's draft. She was picked 12. But that combo she has at running back, Chubb and your boy your boy from the Steelers. It's carrying her every week, and then she's getting huge performances from different people. But yeah, you said it earlier, she is very consistent. And her and I will be playing this week.
Oh, hey now.
Now why don't you
right, go Delilah, I agree.
Yeah, Delilah will, more than likely be going to 6-0 but we'll see. I actually played John Linney, and I was lucky to avoid 180 points from the man. He gave me a nice even keel 125. Now, went into the Monday night game, or the Sunday night game, I believe it was. No, I did have Pittman in this league. So it came down to Pittman for all the marbles. And he definitely made me sweat it out. If the second half doesn't get heated the way it did, I probably lose this match. But if you head on down to my bench, you will notice a few things. Like we talked about last week. Christian McCaffrey. And if you go all the way down to my IR spot, Jerry Jeudy. So I managed to survive the injuries to both of them, mostly thanks to Michael Pittman and Edwards-Helaire, who had a slow start to the year, but he really came on strong for me and kept my head above water. But I'm really looking forward to getting a couple of these guys back, and it's going to be fun going forward.
Wow!
I did leave just a few points on my bench against John.
Right.
So want to do the math? my perfect lineup is another 60 points that I left hanging down there. So,
dear God.
And that's without McCaffrey and Judy. I'm feeling okay right now. So, yeah.
Alrighty. Well, let's move on. Now to stay here in this. Good God.
So coming up this week, we got me versus Delilah, the battle of the last two undefeateds. We got Ash going up against Brandon B. And no offense to my man, but he is one of the low-scoring teams in the league. So it looks like Sid is going to watch his wife
win again.
Just pull away from him even more. Then we got Nick versus Bobby. Bobby's still looking for that elusive first win.
Let's go, Bobby.
Yeah, don't hold your breath, Bobby, because Nick is rolling.
Yeah, Nick's 3-0 in the last 3 weeks.
Then we got Ferg and Daryl, and then Sid and Brandon Davis. Now, Brandon Davis is the other low scorer in points for. So, Sid,
That's the thing, is he gets to play me, who gives up all the points. So he's going to have his best week.
So I expect Brandon to have a personal high score this week.
Right. Oh, yeah. It's going to happen.
All right. You guys want to jump over to Jerry World? We can stay here if you want.
Jerry World's great. Let's do Jerry World.
Jerry World. I'm in it.
Jerry World.
We're already in.
I figured as much. All right. Over there, Dylan sitting in the top spot again. The kid's rolling. He did lose the top spot in points for, though, to Steven. And we are definitely going to get into Steven's matchup. Instant classic this week. So we got Dylan and Ash both at 4-1 at the top of the standings. And we also have Sid and Sean, one game behind, with Dalton sitting at 3-2.
Nice.
We got Steven.
Sean wanted to talk about the best 1-4 team. So Sean wanted to talk about who's the best 3-2 team. I think I'm on top of this one.
Oh wow! Okay, let's go.
Then we got Steven, Seth, Ray, CJ, myself, and Devin, all sitting at 2 and 3. And as we've discussed recently, the poor guy Jason, just decimated by injury over in this league this year, and he's just had a rough go of it. He is sitting at 1 and 4. And Dylan and Steven, they have the top honors in points for, both sitting over 700. The bottom three are Dalton, Devin, and Jason. I just barely stayed out of that group, but we won't talk about that.
Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, we don't have to gloss over it. Let's talk about it.
I'm sitting at 613 points for, which is over 100 points behind first and second place in that category. There you go. Points against. Top two, we got Steven, who took that spot this week, and Devin. Steven is just so far out ahead, though. 761 points. Second place is 717. So, and it'll make a little more sense once we get into Steven's matchup, why he has so many points scored against him. And the bottom three, Dylan and Ash and Dalton. So the top two players in the league have 2 out of the 3 lowest points against. Can't knock Dylan for it, though, because he also has the second highest points for. So, Dylan and Ash both sitting over 90%. We got 99 and 97% for the playoffs. And then we got a few in the 80s. We got Sid, Sean, and Steven.
Let's get it.
All projected to hit those playoffs. And all right, let's jump into the matchups.
I am late.
It's going down as one of the greatest single week matchups I have ever seen. It was real fun to watch. These guys were just trading punches all day. Seth and Steven. The two of them put up a combined
404 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just incredible. It came down to that night game. They both had the Monday night game. They both had a couple players left, or I believe it was 1-1. I'm sorry, I'm trying to
Jonathan Taylor versus Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
And Devin and I were actually sitting watching this game. Taylor comes out with that 80-yard touchdown pass in the first possession or two of the game.
It was the first possession.
15 points right there. Devin and I looked at each other. We're like, "Oh, poor Steven. Poor Steven." And it just, man, fireworks. But I have never seen two teams put up points against each other like this. The fact that Seth put up 196 points, which is 5 points higher than the high score in either of these leagues previously, and he lost. It doesn't feel right. I don't like it. There's just something very wrong about that. But these guys, their lineups just absolutely went off this week.
Wow.
It's good fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. Good gracious.
All right. And then we had CJ versus Devin. My brother got his second win. We'll see how that works out for him. I also am sitting at 2 wins. We're just loving it in the basement down there. And then Ash. Now let's talk about this one because Ash has waited a very long time. A very long time for this game. In this league last year, the championship was Dalton versus Ash, and he put it down on her. Well, she got a little revenge this week. Hard to win when you're getting single digits all through your running back and wide receivers. It's it was a rough week for Dalton.
Oh. Yeah, she got all the revenge.
And the funny part about this, last week, Ash actually submitted a question about who to start in her flex. She ended up, I believe, accidentally leaving Claypool in when she meant to pull him, and he ended up giving her 29 points.
Yeah, I texted her about halfway through that game. I'm like, dang, you should have started Claypool. She's like, I listened to you and didn't. And then 20 minutes later, she texted me. She's like, oh, I left him in. Never mind.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. I will kick it over to Sid. Who'd you play this week, Sid?
It's always fun when you play your dad in fantasy. It's even more fun when he's the lowest scoring team of the week, and you get to put it down and just almost double his score.
Oh my goodness!
Really good time. It was a really, really good time. He got bit by the injury bug with his Galladay play. His Galladay went out really early in that game. And then I talked all that crap about Lamar Jackson, and he ended up giving me 47 points.
No,
pretty much all in the second half. So
yeah.
Not that I needed it, but it was nice to see. Yeah, my team was
yeah. Your top 3 were amazing.
Yeah, they went off.
Oh, man.
No arguments. I like my running backs, like my quarterback in this league. Again, just like Sean said, I got no affiliations when it comes to fantasy. So
there you go.
Mark can sit there at the top as my quarterback.
Exactly. It's all about that W.
Exactly.
I really hope you didn't jinx yourself last night, though, Sid. You know, we were all in the group chat or the other night during that Monday night game, and Sid just.
Oh yeah, you went off. You went off. Look, Nate texted me. He was like, "Yo," Nate texted me. He was like, "Yo, who is this Ash girl? And who? Why are these guys talking about Lamar like this?" I was like, "Yo."
Hey, did you see the touchdown? Marquise Brown is wide open.
I knew it.
Lamar doesn't even see him. The very next play, Marquise runs this crisp route, wide open to the sideline, and Lamar just airmails it. Completely misses him. No pressure. And that's when I was like, this guy sucks. And this was after he fumbled on the 1 yard line. So it's like, yeah, the first half he was playing terrible. Second half they go to prevent defense, everybody backs off, and now Lamar looks great.
Right.
These routes and
this smoke.
Make me eat my words a little bit, but hey, I'm sticking true.
I'm just saying. I hope he doesn't stop showing up for you. You know, a lot of electronic communications get leaked these days. Wouldn't want that group chat to wind up in Lamar's hands.
Right.
I got a feeling I'm not the only one that tells him about it.
Hey, come on now.
All right, Sean, my man.
Okay, so moving on. We can move on. We don't have to go there. Oh, God. I was feeling great after this. But you know what? We're both top-tier teams. He's the first in the league. I feel good to be beat by the first. It's okay. Kyler, again. That's where it was. And Singletary. Devin Singletary is I mean, with Moss and Josh Allen getting, I guess the bulk of the runs, Singletary he gets lost in that mix. Mm-hmm. And I've been trying to stick with him.
He just doesn't get that goal line work. And then when you're in like a grinded out type of game, like they were when they have the lead and they're just trying to kill clock, they go to Zach Moss more than they go to Singletary.
Right.
He's just their pounder. So,
but the tragedy of the weekend was sitting Courtland Sutton because he kept going back and forth between questionable and not. So I said, all right, well, let me just get Marvin Jones in here. Let me just have him in. Maybe he'll get some touches. Sutton plays. Sutton gets 30 points. And it's just like, well.
Hey, you said it. If you're going to lose to somebody, you know, the guy in first with the highest point score in the league, that's a respectable loss. It is.
Right. You know, and he had Austin Eckler, somebody that I benefit from in most of my other leagues. You know what I mean? DK, Tyler, DK and Pollard, they showed up, and then Antonio Brown. So I you know what? All things considering, he had a stud team. You know, my stars didn't really show up like I needed them to. Some of them, you know, Thielen, Kyler Murray, Waller. You know, this is what happens. It's okay. We're 3-2, baby. I'm still right behind Sid, so I'm good.
And Dylan put up 169 points after leaving. What is that? 23 points on his bench by starting Mahomes over Tom Brady.
Yep.
So he was.
Yeah, Tom Brady and Debo, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts barely outscored Mahomes, but yeah, he's sitting over there very, very quarterback heavy.
Mm-hmm. I think he's trying to trade one of them to bolster some other spots. Because
I think I may be talking to him this week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I like it. Yeah. All right, we're good. Let's get off of this embarrassment.
All right, so go ahead and jump over to my matchup against Jason. You know, he's had a rough go, like we've said. And then, you know, Charlie bit Russell Wilson's finger, and his season just got even worse. The hits keep on coming for this man.
Oh, man.
I was able to put up 158.
Did crack 100. I feel for you, man. I beat him last week, so I feel for you.
158 after only getting 6 points from Sam Darnold, who I picked up. And you know, I got pretty solid production all around. And if you head down to my bench, I'm feeling real good about this league as well. I drafted.
You got all the tight ends in both leagues, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
They got Thomas just sitting there. And Landry.
Thomas. And 2 weeks ago, when Jarvis Landry, who was drafted by Jason, he got hurt and Jason was in desperation mode, so he dropped him, and I picked him up. So he's sitting over there waiting to come back. I got Michael Thomas waiting to come back. I have a feeling that I may end up running some 2 tight end lineups at some point this week, which generally is a terrible idea. But when you're sitting on Pitts,
yeah, he's like a wide receiver.
Dawson Knox, and
God,
that's it in this one. The other one, you got 3.
Yeah, this one you got just Pitts and Knox.
Yeah, in the other one I've got Schultz, Andrews, and yeah, tight ends. Hey, I got lucky. We've talked about it a few times this year. How hard it is to get production from that position, and you got Dalton Schultz and Dawson Knox just exploding onto the scene. They were in nobody's top 10. Hey, that's the kind of stuff that can turn things around for a 2-3 team over here.
Oh yeah, here we go.
All right, and then going into next week, let's see what we got. Ooh, first against the worst.
Oh.
I will be facing off against Dylan. Yay me.
Ooh, I've been down that road. It's bumpy, let me tell you.
And then we got Sid going up against CJ. My brother Devin going up against Ash. So she should pan. So the top 2 in the league are playing me and Devin.
The bottom 2 in the league, huh?
And then another father-son matchup. We got Ray facing off against Seth. And they are both at 2 and 3. Alrighty, Dalton. Dalton bringing in the injury-riddled Jason. Dalton trying to hold on to that very high ranking with a very low points for. And then Steven. So that it was 2 weeks ago. Steven had the high score of the week and forgot to start a running back.
Mm-hmm.
And he left 60 points on his bench. He would have scored 210.
Yeah.
So and he scored 208 this week. So this is now twice that Steven had the potential to score over 200 points. So you have fun with that, Sean.
Yeah.
I just want to know that I beat Steven last week, 2 weeks ago. I did hand him an L 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
Yep, you did.
I'm looking forward to this weekend. Look, Dalton said I got injuries too. I love it. I love it.
All right. Where we go now, Sean?
Let's move on. Let's go ahead and move on. Wow, you see how we're doing, ladies and gentlemen. We are holding it together. We're trying to make it. Some leagues were high, some leagues were low, but it's all good. We're getting into the thick of it. And at this point in the season, ladies and gentlemen, hey, I see you in the comments. Keep hitting us up with your questions. We're going to address those a little bit later. Even one by Ash in the group chat. I'm going to address that. just cutthroat, man. She's just cutthroat.
She's at work watching 5-year-olds right now, and she put that in there.
Take care of them kids. Come on now.
Literally, that was my response.
Yo, but look, so a lot of people are coming into this couple of weeks where we have the bye weeks, and a lot of people, you can tell with how they drafted if they prepared for it or if they did not. A lot of people are having issues right now. So the waiver wire is a spot that everybody's jumping on, trying to find what's going on. So let's go ahead and move on to that. Sid, I'm coming to you first. Waiver wire pickups. Who should we be looking out for?
Yeah, so there's more injuries, which means more waiver pickups. There's a lot of very obvious ones, but some that should definitely be looked at. I went through all my leagues and kind of looked at who was available in some of them, so they should be hopefully available in your league if you need them. I'll just go through each position. So right now for quarterback, with Russell Wilson going down, Geno Smith did look very good taking over that offense. That is a high-flying offense. So he's not Russell Wilson by any means, but he should be able to step in there. He's got two great receivers, so he should be able to throw it a little bit and get you some points. Another one, just a great matchup this week, is Taylor Heineke. They throw it a lot too in Washington. They're playing the Chiefs. The Chiefs are very bad defense. They give up a lot of points. Taylor Heineke is going to put up points this week. Go ahead and write that on your notepad, David. We'll talk about it next week. Mark it down.
Oh God! Can we wait? Can I hold up? Oh yeah, I can't do that. Sorry, something happened with David's stream. I don't know what happened with David. Pull a stunt like that again, and you're gone. All right.
Yeah, but I mean, the Chiefs defense, they give up points to everybody and their mom. So Heineke's definitely a flyer this week. At running back, the obvious one again is Daryl Williams with Edwards-Helaire going down that knee sprain. He should get the bulk of the carries there, and if you can get him, he's definitely somebody that would be a starter right away. Two more that you can look at that their starter went down, but I don't know if I trust the system. You got Devontae Booker for the Giants. Saquon went down with that nasty ankle sprain, so Devontae's supposed to be taking over that full-time back position, but the Giants are just not very good, and Devontae Booker is not Saquon, so you can't expect too much. But again, if you're desperate, need somebody to fill in as a starter, he is a starting running back, so he should get the touches. And then the other one I have is Randre Stevenson for New England, because Damien Harris got hurt there in that game, and he's the next man up. Him and Brandon Bolden are going to be the guys, so it's hard to say right now which one, but everything I've been looking into, Randre Stevenson should be the one that you have, at least for now. At receiver, Kadarius Toney, the Giants guy that went off. He did throw a punch, so he got ejected from the game. But before that, he was going off. He put up a lot of points. He is already picked up on some leagues, but he was available in 3 out of my 5. So he might be available in yours if you're needing somebody, especially with all the injuries they have at receiver. He's the guy right now, and he looks like he can do it. The other one is Mecole Hardman. Tyreek Hill went down with a knee injury, and it's not really talked about just yet, but he is not 100%, it looks like. So Mecole Hardman should be a step up there. If you're looking to stream somebody, Chiefs offense throws it a ton. Obviously, their defense is bad, so they should be throwing it to stay in the game. So he's not bad. And then at tight end, we got Dallas Goddard is on the COVID list. They're tested positive, and he plays tomorrow, right? Yeah, the Eagles play tomorrow. So Goddard's out. So Ertz might be a go-to start right now at tight end, at least for this week until Goddard gets back. But he's one to look out for. And then another one, tight ends, again, hard to find. So I just went back to, with Juju going down for the Steelers, Freiermuth's going to be that third down guy. He gets targeted and he makes their catches. So I'm going to throw his name out there every chance I get.
Let's go.
But that's everybody I got for the positions you might need. And you got anything else for those, David?
Honestly, not much to add to what you already said. Just about every name I've got down here. I completely agree with your take. I got Devontae Booker written down just with a bunch of question marks. I mean, if you're desperate, go for it. He's going to see a high volume. But like I said a couple weeks ago when we were talking about Taylor Heineke, just because there's a high volume does not mean you're going to be successful. Yeah, it increases your opportunities, but that team is so decimated by injury.
Taylor's put up 21 in a couple leagues. I have him as a backup in one of my leagues.
He's going to be good this week. The Chiefs have a very bad defense.
Exactly, and the Bronx is going to upset them. So,
whoa, calm down.
Let's go.
I honestly think Heineke could have a pretty good week this week. Casey's just bleeding out all over the place. So, Kadarius Toney, I definitely love that one. I picked him up in the family league. It was more of a defensive pick, as we know I love to do, which kind of ties in with, we looked at my lineup earlier. I'm comfortable with that lineup. I feel pretty deep on the bench. I'm just waiting for some guys to come back from injury. My big drop for the week was Derek Carr. I think he is going to suffer greatly from the coaching change. when this it was a special teams coach is taking over, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Not your offensive coordinator.
Nope.
Not your defensive coordinator.
That's because you.
Hey, he's been in the league for a long time. I just think there is going to be turmoil over there. Derek Carr's resurgence was due to John Gruden. So I do like Kadarius Toney, though. The numbers that he's put up are increasing over the last 3 weeks, even before this week. And something to note, he put up 34.6 points this week without a touchdown. 0 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. He's hit double digits twice. So I'm definitely going to sit on him.
Nice.
Tim Patrick, if he's available, I told you guys a couple weeks back, I did not really trust him as a pickup. I didn't like their schedule. Obviously, the issues with Teddy in and out. But he has put up 14.8, 6.9, and 15.9 over the last 3 weeks. All 3 weeks he has done that without a touchdown. So if he can just get into the end zone, I think I might change my mind on that one. He was available in one league, but not the other. Daryl Williams, I drafted him in both leagues because I also drafted Edwards-Helaire. So I'm looking real pretty right there. And Khalil Herbert. Yep. I still have my doubts about Damien Williams. That first game when you're already getting nicked up. Now he had a good week this week. He put up 16.4. But in your first game, coming in to take over the top spot, if you have to leave for injury, I'm definitely stashing your backup.
Yep.
So that's what I got for you.
I love it. I'm right there with you guys.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go.
No, I was saying I was right there. I'm right there with you guys. The guy that I really want to pick up, and I'm gonna hit him up on a bunch of leagues. Is Khalil Herbert. As you saw, I had Singletary in another league, and I picked up Khalil Herbert because I think he's going to get the bulk of the carries. I think he's going to get a lot, and like you said, I don't trust Damien Williams. So go ahead with what you're saying.
No. You got any other waivers?
For me, it just stuck with that. It stuck with him. I do think Tyler Heineke. I think in those 3 games that he played in the middle with the Giants, the Falcons, and even Buffalo, he scored over 20 points in each one of those games. Because he's running as much as he's passing, he's getting touchdowns. So that's somebody I would say yes on. Over maybe a Teddy Bridgewater, who we all say was consistent. And he's been available, but he's consistently under 20. He consistently 17, 18, that's like that. So I think if you need a quarterback and if injuries or maybe a bye week is affecting you, Taylor Heineke. I'm not just saying that because he's going to beat the Chiefs this week. I said it again. Say a third time, it's going to happen. Let's go. Let's get it. So, Dave, I know you said some drops. Sid, do you have any drops? Anybody that if people are trying to hold on to and maybe they're worried about, they should drop them?
It's hard right now because there's so many injuries. So I don't want to. I wouldn't drop anybody that you have currently. Nobody comes to the top of mind besides Derek Carr, just because there's so many injuries in the league. We were talking about before the show, Miles Sanders is a possible drop just because he's not performing. He's not getting the touches. The problem is nobody's getting the touches there, so I just can't see myself dropping a starting running back. So really, my perspective is right now, if you need to drop somebody to pick somebody up, the person you're dropping is either hurt or you should have dropped him a couple weeks ago. There's really nobody that you still have on your team right now that you should be dropping for one of these guys that may or may not be the guy right now. There's just not enough, I don't think.
Nice. I love it. You guys got anything else on that one?
No, sir.
That's all I got.
Here we go. Yo, let's go ahead and move on. Ladies and gentlemen, we put up the post and in the last couple of weeks, and we wanted you to ask us your questions. Some of you have been watching. You guys have given us some questions, but there's somebody that asked us a question, and ladies and gentlemen, she's been whooping us in our leagues. Ash has asked, how does it feel to be beat by me?
I'm telling you, it's the worst.
We've experienced it. It's not great.
The funny part that was three consecutive weeks. She took out all three of us, correct?
Yeah.
It was Sean twice, me, and now Sid.
She's beaten me in 3 leagues.
Oh,
we played 3 times, and all 3 she's beaten me. It's been rough.
Jeez Louise. Look, at least in one of my leagues, I actually thought I won. You know, for a minute, I was like, "Oh, I beat her! I did it." She's like, "No, not today."
Brutal,
rough.
And the funny part is, we helped. we all helped Ash win that match against Sid.
I'm gonna stop answering your questions.
Quick recap of some of our responses to you guys last week. Ash had a couple questions. She asked about Miles Sanders, as we just touched on. Yeah. Can't start him, but
get her, Dalton.
We're not dropping him. We're not dropping him. Ash also asked who to start between Claypool, Pittman, Kirk, and Shenault. Delilah said it was a toss-up between Kirk and Claypool. Sean and myself both took Pittman. Sid and Bobby both took Shenault. Shenault was the low scorer, and Claypool was the high scorer. However, Delilah gets 0 points for this answer because she also chose Kirk in the same breath. So Sean and I went out.
They cancel out.
She had the high score and the low score. Toss up between those two guys. But Ash did end up starting Claypool, which is one of the reasons Sid took the loss. All of us chose Damien Williams over Hubbard, and Hubbard outscored him by 7 points. Another unanimous pick was Emmanuel Sanders over Beasley, Galladay, and Patrick, and we all knocked that one out of the park. And it was the last question we answered last week from Dalton, asking about whether or not he should trade Juju. And Dalton, all I can say is I hope you did. Hope you did, sir.
Yeah. So we have people over here in the comments that have actually come to us and asked questions as we normally do. James Zhao said trade Godwin and Debo and Emmanuel Sanders for Knox and Knox for Hill. So all those guys for Hill.
I think
Tyreek Hill.
For Tyreek Hill?
I think that's a little too much. Hill's amazing, but I'm pretty sure if you look at the rankings, Debo is the #1 receiver in fantasy right now.
Exactly.
So on top of that, you're giving up 2 other starters and, a top 5 tight ends. Yeah, I don't see that happening.
What was the full list? Godwin, Debo,
Emmanuel Sanders, and Dawson Knox.
Yeah. Sanders and Knox alone are a solid combination. Why would you? Yeah, no. Hill, don't trade for him.
I actually really like this trade if I'm on, the Godwin, Debo, Knox, Sanders
side. If you're getting that.
Yeah, if you're getting it, oh yeah. If you have Hill, then.
Yeah, that's 3 starters and a solid flex on any given week. So.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's better. Yeah.
Then you can't press accept quick enough on that one. All right. So Streak says, so I was offered this Hunt, Adams, and a QB unnamed, and AB for Cook, Higgins, and Dalvin's backup in a PPR full PPR league. So Hunt, Adams, and AB for Cook, Higgins, and Dalvin Cook's backup.
My Hunt so he's got Kareem Hunt, Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown, and he would be getting Dalvin Cook, Dalvin's backup, and T. Higgins.
Yeah,
I personally wouldn't do that. Kareem Hunt's a flex play every week. Adams is top 2 receivers in fantasy football, and Antonio Brown has been balling out with Tom Brady, so I don't have any problems with them. Dalvin Cook and his backup are definitely an upgrade to Kareem Hunt, but T. Higgins is a major downgrade from Devontae Adams and AB. And unless you got 2 other studs at receiver,
that's where I was going to go with that.
You're giving up too much to upgrade at running back, which you have a starting caliber running back, I think. So I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
I love Adams. I made a very strong play for him in the family league. My little brother Devin never entertains trades. He believes that every player he drafted
He's chosen.
was meant to be his.
Right.
I hate him sometimes. But it took the kid like almost 2 days to say no to the trade. I was giving up a lot to pull in Adams. You guys saw my bench over there where I have some other injured players coming back. And I really like Devontae. It's a lot though, like Sid said. So, I mean, if you can replace what you're losing with Adams and AB, I mean, having Cook and Madison was in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cook and Madison, that's a hell of a safety net to have.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a tough one. You depend on your bench.
Yeah. Yeah, I would hold on to, if I had Adams, Hunt, and AB, I'd hold on to him. I have Hunt in a lot of my leagues, and I picked up AB a little later in some of my leagues, and he's been starting to perform. So yeah, I'd stay where I was at. But I think you guys are right. Cook and Madison are huge pickups, but Higgins, I don't think you can trust him with Jamar Chase over there in Cincinnati. I just don't think you can trust Higgins. And we got one more from Chase Wellner who said Booker, Damien Williams, or Moss in PPR. Thanks.
Devontae Booker, Damien Williams, or Zach Moss in a PPR. I'm gonna look at their matchups.
All right, so we got
Booker plays the Rams, so I don't like that one a lot at all, really. Damien Williams plays the Packers.
against Green Bay.
Green Bay. They don't have the best defense. It's in Chicago. That's usually a grinded out running game.
Yeah.
I don't mind him or Zach Moss. The Bills are playing
They're at Tennessee
on Monday night.
So your entire week could be relying on Zach Moss.
I don't mind Zach Moss, actually. The Titans have been giving up a ton of points. They haven't been a solid team. I really don't mind Damien Williams or Zach Moss. I probably prefer Moss because he's going to be the guy. Goal line carries, and when they're up, that's who is in. That's why Singletary didn't get much last week because they were up the whole game. And I expect them to be up against the Titans probably the majority of the game. So my pick would be Moss out of those three.
Yeah. I'd have to agree. Damien Williams, yes, but like we said, Herbert, I think is going to get a lot more attention this week. He had 18 carries a week ago, so I definitely think they're going to split time, and that's going to hurt Williams. Moss, I've seen the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? With Singletary, having him on some of my leagues, so I've seen Moss gets more of the attention. And yeah, Booker. No, I'm not even paying attention to Booker. So yeah, definitely I would go Moss myself.
You got Devontae Booker down there, David?
I'm really torn.
You're taking
everybody's eating over there, and sitting out in Tennessee is just they're struggling. They're struggling. I am going to take Damien Williams though because watching the round table, Big Nick Rosario is predicting
he did.
Bears ahead of the Packers and to win the game outright, not even taking points.
Yeah.
I'm with Nick. I think that this is a game that Chicago could win. Their defense is playing really well, and like you said, this is a divisional game in Chicago. It's going to be a grind. This isn't going to be a shootout, and I think even though Khalil Herbert is going to be taking some of the carries from Damien Williams, I still think that Williams, he's going to edge out Moss. Josh Allen is going to be throwing the ball up and down the field. I think we've seen in the red zone their running backs. I mean, forget goal line stuff. The running backs are below everyone on that depth chart when it comes to goal line work, red zone work.
Right.
So without getting into the end zone, Moss doesn't take this, and I don't think he gets into the end zone. So there you go.
Nice. And I got one more that just came in. JT Movin said, I traded Thielen and Pitts for Jacoby Myers and Dalton Schultz. How bad did I lose on this one?
Jacoby Myers and Dalton Schultz.
Oh, God.
For Pitts and Thielen.
I feel for you, man.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I sat Pitts for the first time all year, but the only reason I did was because I was able to pick up Dawson Knox. I was starting to lose hope with Pitts. You pulled the trigger a little early on that one. But I mean, Schultz, I don't think Schultz is going to give you what Pitts does by the end of the year. But
the only defense I got for you is that Pitts had this game, I think, because Calvin Ridley was out. Mm-hmm. I'm curious if he continues that production with Ridley back. So if Pitts goes back to how he was the first 4 weeks and not last week, then Schultz has been an upgrade if he can continue it. If Pitts continues to grow as he should as a rookie and just get better every week, you probably lost both ends of that for sure.
Right.
And see, I really think the Pitts thing will go the opposite direction, Sid. I think the fact that Ridley was out of that game and Pitts was the only option forced the two of them to kind of realize the potential that they had. And I think that keeps going. I do. When you get a rookie and a quarterback who finally hit stride with each other and have a huge game like that, you don't go back to what you were doing before. So,
well, I mean, the thing is, Calvin Ridley is an animal. That dude is very good. He's not just going to fall off because Pitts had this one game, and I think Pitts is better now because he had that game and that solid game with Matt Ryan. But I don't think you can expect that every week with Calvin Ridley coming back because he's going to eat too.
And that's fair. I don't think you're going to get 30 every week from him. But I also don't see him going back to single digit performance.
For sure.
True. Very true. Guys, we have time for one more. I just got one more in the comments. We good or are we going to go? Good? All right, let's do it. Yeah. All right. He said, Pulse Zero says, I have Dalton Schultz starting right now with 3 people off next week. Logan Thomas, Miles Sanders, and Jerry Jeudy on the bench. And I have to drop one to pick up a tight end to play next week. Should I drop Thomas?
Logan Thomas, Jerry Jeudy, and
Miles Sanders. Yeah.
I'll go. I would drop Thomas because Schultz seems like he can be the guy. He's not going to – Thomas isn't going to do more than what Schultz has been doing and I think keeps doing. I mean, to me, watching the Cowboys game, Schultz is outside of a deep threat CD. Schultz is Dak's second favorite target.
Yep.
Like
Jason
so,
Witten.
Anytime he needs a first down or that third down pickup, he's looking for Schultz. So he's going to be a PPR machine. And as long as he continues that, Logan Thomas isn't going to do anything spectacular to overtake that. So I think you can let him go for the one to have somebody on Schultz's bye week. Barring that, Miles Sanders, again, we've talked about, he's a starting running back in the NFL, and he's not being out-snapped or anything like that. I just have a hard time giving up on him. And Jerry Jeudy looks like, before pre-injury, looked like he's going to have a breakout season. So I wouldn't let either of those guys go.
Yep.
100%. Everything we talked about with Miles Sanders, the pitch used on him, it's just too hard to drop him. And Dalton Schultz has proven how much Dak likes him. So I think Sid said it perfectly. Logan Thomas isn't going to give you more than what Schultz has the potential to give you for the rest of the year. And if you drop Jerry Jeudy, I would like to invite you to come and play in our league next year.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely bring it in. Yo, appreciate you, Paul Zero. Yeah, glad we can help. I got to agree with you guys to drop Thomas. Schultz is playing solid, and what we're finding out, me being the resident Washington fan, yeah, I'm not hiding. I'm still here. All right. Seals Jones has come in and done basically what Logan Thomas has done. Now, I think Logan Thomas is better, but Seals Jones has just fit into the offense right where Logan Thomas left off. And so, I think Logan Thomas, once he comes back, will be put right in. But now that they know, just like we talk about with Pitts, now that you know you have somebody else that maybe you have chemistry with, you're going to run with that. So, appreciate the question, man. Appreciate the question. But, we're going to go ahead and move on to the last segment on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if y'all know, but some of us like to gamble. Yes, we do. Some of us more than others. I'm not the best, but I'm getting better. But my guy Sid over here and my guy Dave, they get down. Sid, we're coming to your part. Bet of the week. What's your bet of the week, Sid?
So I got a fun one. So last week we did the nice and easy. You're just picking your favorite games, little money line parlay. Don't have to worry about points, anything like that. This one I got is not nearly as easy to win, but it is a very fun bet to make. So what this is it's a prop bet. Prop bet just means something that's going to happen in the game. I got one for tomorrow's game. So I'm giving you two options. So I'm going with first touchdown scorer. So easy bet. You just want to pick the first person to score the touchdown. Not easy to make and pick the right one, but it is a fun. Just pick one person and hope they score. You get really good odds on it. So it's fun. You just drop $5 and you can win up to $100 or even more depending on who you pick if they hit. So it's a fun one to do. With the game between the Bucs and the Eagles, the two guys I'm looking for, the Bucs for Fournette to get one. The Eagles don't like to give up the deep pass too much, so I'm thinking the Bucs get it close and Fournette runs one in. If they get, this is the hard part about this one, is because you don't know who gets the ball first. So Fournette is who I'm thinking. He's got the best odds. He's at plus 625. So if you threw a $10 bet on there, you'd win $62.50. The fun one, though, if you want to get real wild, if the Eagles end up with the ball first, I do like Zach Ertz to score the first touchdown with Dallas Goddard being out. So if they get down close, hitting Ertz. Ertz is plus 1,400. You put $10 on that, you win 150. So
let's go.
Could be fun. Those are my two that I like this week. Now I won my bet last week. I'm not saying I'm going to win my bet this week because these are very long odds. But
that was going to be my question.
Figure I'd throw a new one in there.
You won your first score bet this last week, right?
I did. I won this. So the Monday night game, I had the first touchdown scorer, Jonathan Taylor. That nice 80-yard dump off won me $160. That was pretty nice.
Good stuff, man.
I love it. Yo, Dave, you got a bet this week? What's up? Do you have one or no? Dave.
What's up?
Do you have a bet?
Nope.
No.
Left it up to Sid. I like I said, I got into it. I went real hot. I made a lot of money, and I pulled most of it. And right now, I'm going in every week and kind of looking things over. I think I will come back to it probably around mid-season once we really, the first 4 weeks of the season, for that to have been my introduction to sports betting, when everybody's up and down. Terrible teams play great for the first couple weeks. Some of the better teams, maybe they started slow, but everybody's a big question mark because all we have to go on is last year. That was a crazy time to get in there. I had a lot of fun with it. But yeah, maybe in a couple weeks I'll have a bet for you. We'll see.
Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have not gotten yet into the parlays and the props and things like that. Shout out to Sid, Nicholas Rosario, and the round table also has his picks. I do a lot of I jumped into a lot of FanDuel and DraftKings, a lot of the draft your lineups and see how they do. I've jumped onto a lot of college football and picked up on a lot of games. I stacked the Ole Miss versus Arkansas game and definitely picked up like a $30 on that on like a $5 bet. And I think I went into a lot of like the little unnamed teams like the UNLV versus, like Texas A&M. It's something where it's like, this guy, a couple guys are going to get a nice little chunk of yards or whatever. Maybe you'll get some garbage yards on the back end. Stack it up and do it. So, hey, well, I'll definitely be bringing that to you. I went a little bit, but nothing major. But I've been following these guys. And one day, I like you, Dave. I hope to be in like you and Sid, so we can make some money together. Let's do this thing, man.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, again, another week in the books, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, I am one place, stable, not driving, not all over the place. But you know what? I got to say something, man. We got a little bit of time left. I got to shout out these two guys, man, because honestly, everything last week happened so quickly that it was kind of like, my babe came home and she was stressed and we had to move and we did it. And I asked these guys, I said, hey, we can reschedule or we can still do it. And they said, hey, if you're available, we're good. And if you know me, I will always be available. If the connections work, we're good to go. So I got to shout these guys out because I know my audio was a little jacked up. I was going in and out. I listened to the show and I was like, oh, Sean, come on. But these two guys held it down. They got everything out there, answered all the questions, ladies and gentlemen. And guys, some of you I've seen, James Al, as one of you came back, you watched us again, you asked us another question again. Keep coming, ladies and gentlemen. Every Wednesday, 6:00, we will be giving you the good stuff, the information, man. And we're look. I don't have all the background that my guy has over here with all his Steelers stuff because we're redecorating, we're rebuilding over here. We're working it out. You know what? Don't do it, Dave. I see you reaching for something. I see you reaching. Yo, I love this guy. Oh no, here we go. You know what, man? You see that? We're having technical difficulties on those. Yo, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Hey, we will be back next week. For me, Sean Spencer, my guy, Mr. Steel Curtain, Sydney Swinton in the building. And how about them Cowboys? Mr. David Wright in the building. Yes, sir. Hey, man, we appreciate your time. Definitely hope we helped you out. And we will definitely be with you next week. Peace, guys.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. Come on.